Hello world, this is live from QNAP headquarters in Taipei, Taiwan. I'm marketing specialist Michael, and today it's my pleasure to have our product manager Repo with me again. Hi Repo.
Hello everyone.
And today we're going to talk about QCenter. But before we start talking about QCenter, in the last episode we talked about the QRM Plus, which is a device management suite for the Windows and the Linux machines, right? And at that time, after the program, some viewers asked me, why don't we have a solution for managing NAS? Now we have it. The last time we didn't say it because it's a separate solution, right?
Yes.
Now we have QCenter, and you are going to tell us what QCenter can do.
Yes.
All right, let's get started.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Repo, and today we will going to discuss QCenter, which is a central storage management solution for management multiple NAS. With this solution, we wish that our IT manager, when purchase multiple QNAP NAS, they can ensure all of the NAS are run under best condition.
Sure, let's go to our slides.
Okay, so today we are going to introduce QCenter because, as Michael just mentioned, we have a solution to monitor multiple, maybe Windows server or VMware or Linux server. But before that, actually, we already have a solution to monitoring multiple NAS. And this solution is provided by ourselves because we believe that as a storage provider, we can provide a more professional solution for user, IT manager who want to ensure the NAS is run on the best condition. This is also a major challenge that today's manager facing because when we purchase so many NAS, how can we ensure that all the NAS is run on the best performance, have a help this condition, and whatever it has made the company a requirement.
And actually, there are a lot of companies who buy a lot of lots in different branches and in headquarters, and how to manage them centrally, right?
Yes.
That's also an issue because if you want to put IT guys in every branch, that costs a lot of money.
Yes.
Right.
So I want to start in from the monitoring aspect regarding QCenter. And while be the QCenter PM for maybe 3 years now already.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have found some important aspects that we can discuss regarding monitoring storage server and NAS. As you can see that here, I have mentioned 3 aspects for monitoring storage and 3 dimensions. The first one is compared to different solutions. The first one is very basically system resource usage such as CPU, memory, and system log. I believe Leo has a lot of even open source solution on the internet or on the market that can provide for IT manager. But from the storage vendor aspect, we believe an independent solution is required for us to provide to the user because those open source solutions cannot help IT manager to understand more about how is the NAS storage space has been using, and even more, how can IT manager learn from the monitoring solution regarding disk health, regarding disk performance, regarding storage performance. Those are very professional aspect in the monitoring software that we believe open source software or even the other professional software on the market that cannot provide. So that's why we have a dedicated team to design and to release our QCenter as a total solution for IT manager and small to middle-sized business alike to monitor their storage system.
Sure, and we are the manufacturer of these NASs, so we know them best, right?
Yes.
And we know what kind of values or what kind of system status are most critical to our performance.
Yes. For example, during my survey on the market, open source software can monitor CPU, memory, and more some professional monitoring software can monitor such as storage condition and storage space. While as we can see from the slides, for example, if I am IT manager, I also want to know how those multiple NAS, the disk inside those multiple NAS has functioned well or have some issue. And I believe that these the third dimension and the third aspect is hard even for a professional monitoring software to achieve, because they cannot have the total access of a NAS data, which is why we can provide QCenter solution for this problem. So from the slides, you can see that right now we have provide 13 different reports in 5 categories. For example, we can help our IT manager to monitoring inventory, storage space, performance, hardware, and disk condition. And for example, we have a very unique monitoring report, which is called Smart Report, which we, as you can see from the slides, we have retrieved several factors in the smart. If you are IT manager, you should already know that those smart information mean this condition regarding whether he has been used for how long, whether we have some error session, or whether we have a command timeout regarding IO access. Those ideas are very important for people who want to understand this condition. And from the very famous data center provider, Barclayson, we can collect those important ID that both the professional manager and we believe are very important in regarding monitoring disk health. So we also provide those reports, for example, so that an IT manager can fully control and monitoring the condition regarding disk health.
So knowing all this information is for one thing, to prevent problem, right?
Yes.
So we know we can know in advance what is likely to go wrong, and we can prevent that from happening. So our system will stay available.
Yes, it's a very important aspect which currently is being discussed by a lot of IT manager called proactive care, which means that IT manager should be have the ability to prevent error from happening before it actually happens.
Right, sure.
So let's go to, we just mentioned the 5 different categories and more than 13 report. Here is a glance about what report we can provide. For example, in the inventory part, we have server report. This report regarding the disk serial number and which brand of disk has been used. And the capacity report show something like storage port capacity, filing capacity, and in perfect performance, we have CPU usage report, disk IOPS report, and even disk latency report. Those are all very detailed report we infographic design, which help IT manager to understand more regarding how the NAS has been performed well or have some issue. So here is another example. I just mentioned that in QCenter, we are also focusing on the infographic design, which means every report and every information, we try to use the chart, which allow the NS, the IT manager, can better understand and track the performance or condition change in the data center. Here, for example, we have shown this temperature report regarding different NAS in the data center, which allow IT manager to understand a change, for example, air condition change or NAS location change have different what is the effect of those changes regarding NAS temperature, and whatever issue further adjust those measurements, or it can maintain to the same and they have no issue. So in those reports, we not only provide fixed information, we also provide a chart and a history record that can be recorded for more than 1 year, so that IT manager or general user alike can enjoy the benefit of professional monitoring software that's free in our NAS and can continue monitoring the storage server.
Sure. So all this data collection by QCenter is for presenting them in an informative way, so the IT managers can know what's going on with their NAS.
Yes.
Right. It's very good.
Okay. So here is, as I mentioned, there has a lot of solutions on the market, but here we just, because we know there also have a lot of professional solutions that I have not studied with, So currently, I just compare our QNAP Q Center with another competitive product, which we call Acclaimed CMS, which usually
I
know.
guess I know.
Okay, so when we compare those solutions between QNAP Q Center and Acclaimed CMS, we know that from the design aspect, we are standing in different aspects. Because, for example, you can see from the comparison table is that the basically monitoring regarding CPU, memory, network, or storage usage, we both of the solution can monitor those items. But compare the final, the latest three object, which regarding storage performance and disk health report, those things are what I mentioned as a storage vendor that we can provide to allow IT manager to best control their storage solution. While those detailed report has not been provided in the Experience CMS, I believe there is a fundamental difference between we and our competitor when developing a monitoring solution. For the other competitor, like my belief that because they have so many solutions on the market, that user can select from. So it is actually not necessary to provide a very professional monitoring software because IT manager can just purchase those software and use it. But from our aspect as a total solution, we want our user to have a free solution that provided directly from a vendor, but also is independent and professional suits that allow IT manager to best control the NAS condition, which means that we will advise our user don't need to purchase the other software because they can use QCenter to maximize the return of investment with a built-in application directly.
So we're trying to provide as many functions as possible to our customers to help them maximize their benefit on their investment.
Yes.
And since we know all this device very well, so because it's manufactured by us, so
Yes.
we can provide the most relevant information to our customers.
Yes.
Right.
Take a there's a described in a slide. For example, is the Q Center agent that installed on every NAS will actually will provide more than 100 data per minute back to the Q Center regarding disk health, smart information, disk performance. All those information we retrieve because we believe that we are doing an independent and professional monitoring solution for our customer.
So actually collects a lot of information, right? And
Yes.
it by every minute.
Yes.
All right, that's pretty much a real-time monitoring.
Yes.
Oh, good.
And next, they're also comparing the user's interface because when compared between QNAP and the Experience NAS, some user might believe that our competitor usually have better user interface. But here's some simple comparison between the Experience NAS and QNAP Q Center. In QNAP Q Center, you can see our fully customizable dashboard, which contain all the three aspects monitoring items. From the left, you can see the CPU utilization, memory utilization, and in the middle is regarding the storage space usage. And from the right side, you can see the more professional information regarding abnormal disk or even the top 5 disk latency, which disk has a worse performance and might need to be changed in the future. So that's what we call a fully customizable interface. And compared to the Experience CMS, you can see is maybe just very basically one dimension monitoring regarding the status. As I mentioned, is because we are standing in a different design aspect that our competitors believe our IT manager can purchase the other monitoring solution, while as a QNAP, we wish to provide a total solution for our customer.
I must address here that we are not providing a complicated solution. We are providing a comprehensive solution, right? And all these things like can be customized on the dashboard, on the interface, right?
Yes.
And you are going to show us later, right?
Yes.
And so we are providing a total solution to gather as much information as we can and present them in very informative way, so you can know what happens, not just some numbers or some simple icons, right?
Yes. So let's go to the demo for now to showing the comparison between those different solutions.
Sure.
Okay. So here you can see that this is our QCenter user interface regarding our home page, which show all the NAS status and condition. And for example, as I mentioned, as an IT manager, I might want to know which disk has been used for more than 5 years. Because, for example, some company may have a rule if a disk has been used for more than 5 years, it needs to be replaced to ensure the data is being well protected.
Yeah, because it's more likely to fail. It has been used for a long time.
Yes. And here I just open this to check how many disks has been used for more than 5 years. I just open this report, and you can also see, same as from the slide, we have provided so many reports our user and IT manager can choose from. Here I will just select this power on hours report, which we retrieve this information from the disk smart directly. And you can see that here we provide a comprehensive report regarding which disk has been used for more than 5 years. Below you can see the whole list of all those disks, and you can see in all those disks there are currently 2 disks that are already being used for more than 5 years. And how can we identify those 2 disks? We just press this bar chart. Yeah. Okay, we just press this bar chart, and you can see those 2 disks. One is Samsung X82, which is a NAS that being used by our R&D currently. It already contains a disk that have been used for more than 5 years. And so, as the IT manager, I believe that now is the time to inform this colleague that issue a request this replacement because his data might be lost if continue using this disk.
Yeah, I like the design where you can just click on the bar and look for the disk that has been used for over 5 years. It's very convenient because you don't have to scroll over the entire list to look for something.
Yes.
It's very good.
And as a comparison, let's look at Aspirin solution.
If we have to.
Okay. Okay, let me log in first. Okay, let's open this CMS software. So as you can see, this is also very clear design, but maybe just showing the basic information. And right now, as an IT manager, I want to search for the disks that have been used for more than 5 years, and press this HDD and SSD. I see all the information have been enlisted on here regarding this model, and smart information also have smart information. But here we didn't get more detailed information regarding which disk has been used in 5 years, or whatever. For example, there's abnormal smart information, but which attribute is being in abnormal. Those details have not been shown in this monitoring solution. That's a simple comparison between QCenter and our computer regarding, as I mentioned, that we are standing on different aspects regarding designing a monitoring solution for our customer. Okay, let's go back to QCenter, and I want to show you more report regarding how our NAS and IT manager can utilize QCenter.
Sure.
Except from the power on hours report, I also want to show you a disk latency report. This is also a very unique report that we have not seen on the other computer or even a professional monitoring software. Because as I mentioned, as a NAS vendor, we provide this monitoring solution because we want to allow our user to have a fully control and fully understanding regarding their NAS and disk performance. So here you can also see the latency report with a time frame which show the disk latency over time, and we can see there has one HDD that have more than 1,000 millisecond latency, which is actually not accessible for general database usage. and we see that this disk is also located. Actually, is the same disk that have been used for 5 years.
Oh, really?
So we really believe that the the R&D college should replace Lotus because that disk is not only being used for a long time, in latency is so high. Maybe the server and application service on an application on the NAS cannot be run smoothly.
Yeah, let you consider that.
Yes. And another report I want to show is the temperature report. As I mentioned in the slide, our IT manager can use those history trends to understand the configuration regarding air condition or the NAS location on how those changes will impact the NAS temperature and whatever lets you maintain the arrangement or do some further changes. We believe that this monitoring and a history record and comparison between different server, different NAS is very important for an IT manager to fully understand the configuration in the data center.
Sure.
And finally, we go to this demo. This is what I mentioned is a fully customizable dashboard that allow our IT manager and users to understand their NAS usage. So here, as same as your slide, we have a 3-dimension monitoring solution. While if we want to edit some widgets, edit some monitoring item, for example, the top volume usage, we just check this and press edit. And you can see it has already been added below the exist monitoring widget, and we can change those widgets location wherever we need it. And also, we can use a customizable filter to say, okay, here, I want to monitoring the location, and I can choose between different locations. Of course, our user need to key in those customizable attribute first, but once they key in, those dashboards are fully customizable, which allow them to monitor, for example, the NAS in different office or the NAS in different branch office in different locations. So I just check those and press edit and apply. So you can probably see that the list have been changed a little because I have used a filter and he has a mark here show that this is customized widget that's showing the NAS specifically in the HQ second floor and third floor regarding the volume, capacity, and usage. Okay.
So you can decide the layout and the information displayed totally by your needs. You can customize and set whatever you want. So yes. So when you log in, you will get the most current information and most relevant information to you. Right?
Yes, and also we can use this. We can not only use edit, we can click this dashboard and create a new dashboard if we need it. So example, we can put a Taipei second floor. We can create a dashboard dedicated to monitoring the NAS like Taipei HQ second floor. And once we create, we just select the widget we want. And then we can customize those widgets using a filter to say, okay, all those widgets, I just want to show the second floor. So actually, I can create different dashboard for the NAS in different locations to fully satisfy different IT managers' requirements.
So you can have multiple dashboard and you can set them to maybe different floor of different locations and send more detailed information on that dashboard, right?
Yes.
And that's very good because sometimes we want to categorize all this information so we can easily distinguish what went wrong. And by this design, we can very easily see why is functioning well and what went wrong.
Yes. Let's go to the slide. So I just show you, you and everyone that the difference between QNAP, QCenter, and Acclaimed CMS.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we all see the difference. And next, let's discuss more about how is the flexibility in QCenter can allow user to conduct deployment. So for example, QCenter is not just a solution for IT manager. We know that for some SMB user, or even home user, they may have only one or two NAS. And of course, our Q Center can be used to monitor even single NAS.
So you mean if I only have one NAS in my house, I can still install Q Center and use it to log all this information?
Yes.
Well, that's very good.
Yes, we believe this is a benefit for home user because they can utilize the Q Center customizable dashboard and the history record that can be recorded for over 1 year, 2 years, depending on the NAS space, of course, to understand the NAS performance and how user can better utilize the remaining space.
Yeah, that's very good.
And also another very flexible solution that Q Center provide, and I must mention that this is also a unique solution that have not been provided in the other monitor software here, is that one NAS can be monitored by multiple Q Center. Currently, our design is that one NAS can be monitored by 10 Q Center. Some users may really curious about why we provided such design. And the reason is that, as from the chart, you can see instead of have a central Q Center that monitor all the NAS, we believe some IT manager, for example, in this chart, the IT manager in Taipei, for example, in our HQ, might only want to monitor specifically NAS that is very important storing data in different branch office. But in the branch office, each office have a small MS, small IT guys who also need to monitor all of the NAS in a local branch office. And we provide this solution so the user can have a very flexible design that only important NAS have been monitored by the central IT department, while each branch office, the NS guys can monitor all of the local NAS by deploy another Q Center. So those monitoring several allow a NAS can be monitored by Q Center, provide the IT manager some option regarding for example, have a backup monitoring side, or as I mentioned, have a distributed monitoring deployment for both central IT and local IT personnel.
That's very good for those big enterprises because they have a lot of office and every IT guy wants to monitor different things. So some IT guy in the HQ can monitor only most critical NAS.
Yes.
And the local guy can monitor all of them. And maybe a financial guy wants to monitor financial NAS of every branch. So they can all be added up to 10, right?
Yes.
So that provides a lot of flexibility.
Yes. And after we have checking regarding the monitoring, another important aspect regarding monitoring and management solution is that not only monitoring, a software should also, central CMS software should also be able to change the NAS configuration for IT personnel. Because as I have a title here, say help IT guys to work smarter, not harder. Because if we don't have those central monitoring mechanism, one IT manager, he need to log into different NAS and configure all those settings one by one. It's very time wasting. And we believe that with Q Center, we can save IT manager a lot of time by allowing them to configure multiple NAS at the same time.
So you're saying that not only monitoring all this NAS, Q Center can also manage all this NAS.
Yes.
And by this slides we see can upgrade firmware, install apps. So if I only have IT guys in the headquarters, I can actually still manage to upgrade all this NAS to the latest firmware version.
Yes.
Without leaving my office, leaving my seat.
Yes.
Well, that's very good.
Mm-hmm. And also here we have the comparison table again regarding QNAP Q Center and Experience CMS. We know that it's essential for a central monitoring solution to have, for example, you just mentioned, install firmware, app, and change the setting. But here, another important aspect is that we are continuing maintain Q Center. We provide more customizable setting that we receive from the users, the IT manager's feedback, and we change accordingly. So here you can see we have some advanced setting that our computer does not have. For example, we can back out multiple NAS setting, into the QNAP NAS,
That's
into the Q Center.
That's important.
Yes, and when the NAS have some issue, the IT managers have some simple check and restore that setting to a specific NAS right away. So they don't need to back out every NAS setting by logging to the NAS. They just one check in Q Center and all is done. And furthermore, we have provided a solution which allow IT manager to create multiple shared folder in different NAS directory. Is also a feedback that we receive from the IT manager because he has an issue and we provide solution. And here the case is that a company in US, which IT manager feedbacks to us that because he has so many branch office and each branch office have a QNAP NAS, and he wants to using Q Center to create a share folder on multiple NAS because he want to have a dedicated share folder to store IT resource on different branch office so that the local colleague can access those IT resource from the local NAS directly instead of connecting to the central HQ. And we believe this requirement is very important. So we have now developed this function so allow the Q Center can create share folder on multiple NAS directly with just some simple check.
It's like you can just sit in the HQ office and push all those data to different NAS in different locations, right?
Yes.
That's very convenient for distributing all this data, and you can save a lot of bandwidth. Because you don't have to connect back to the HQ to get all this information because it's already in the branch.
Yes. And one thing is very important is that we not only allow user to create share folder, when creating the folder, we also allow IT manager to change the admin setting. For example, some user can have rewrite access and some user may just have read access. Those are all what we have done for this user and the other IT professional user like to improve our Q Center based on customer feedback. So here, let's go to demo to show how can we creating share folder on multiple NAS directly.
All right.
Okay. So let's go to this service page, and here you can see another additional information is that we also, as I mentioned, our user can quickly input a customer attribute. As you can see, I have keying a location here, and if I want, I can just key in another location for another attribute, for example, R&D. Okay. And you will have another customer attribute which allow user to very easily to categorize the QNAP NAS. But let's go back to the topic. So here I want to create share folder on 3 NAS at the same time. So here I just click this the first NAS and this second and the third NAS. So what I want to do is create a share folder. So I simply create this action and create a share folder. You can see this is an interface that sends us each NAS file station. All of the settings can be input here. So let's go input the folder name here, demo2 on system volume, and we can assign a special volume if we want. But right now, let's just keep system volume. And here in editing, I not only want admin to have access to those share folder, I also want a user called repo to have a rewrite access of those newly created share folder. And the rest advanced setting may not be required. So I have input the information I want and I press this create. So you can see you already have a background task like running, creating share folder. And let's go to list one of the NAS, see if the share folder has been created successfully. Okay, so this is the NAS interface. Let's go to control panel, share folder. You can see, there's a new demo2 folder has been created, and let's check the permission setting for admin and the user
that's
repo.
also correct. That's what we just said.
Yes, has the permission setting on this newly created share folder. We believe this function is really allow IT manager to easily sync or backup data between different QNAP NAS. And this feature we are very proud that users have feedback, and we have put this feature into reality that our IT manager that choosing QNAP can use the function that he wants.
Yeah, very good.
Okay, let's go back to the slide. Okay, so after sharing all those monitoring and management solution, I want to further share our latest news regarding recently, actually in this year, we have received many requests regarding, okay, how many NAS can the Q Center monitoring and what's the best practice of deploying Q Center? So here, our customers challenge that we should provide a solution is how to deploy Q Center to monitoring more than 100 NAS. So here I will introduce some automation and solution that we provide so our Q Center can monitor more than 100 or even 1,000 QNAP NAS.
That's nice.
Okay. So here is some problem that our users facing and our solution. So as a PM of Q Center, I have observed currently the top two critical issue that our IT manager facing when deploying a monitoring solution is first of all the hardware spec regarding CPU memory may not match the monitoring solution requirement. For example, if you want to monitor 200 NAS, maybe some even the monitoring software on the market that require many CPU and memory resource, and a single server, small server, can simply not provide all those CPU and memory resource. And the second issue that our IT manager facing is that in company network, we understand there has many complex network setting. For example, they maybe have some NAS behind firewall or on the other side of the world in different branch office, different country.
Yeah, those big companies has a very complex network infrastructure.
Yes.
Yeah, even cross-country infrastructure. That will make things very complicated.
Yes, some of the users are really very headache regarding those complex network condition. And here we have provide our QNAP Q Center solution. We have provide one portal, two deployment method, NAS and VM, and three connection type, LAN, WAN, or over MAT. So let's looking at those solutions one by one.
Sure.
Okay. First of all, I want to explain what is a single one portal mean, which is when we are monitoring multiple QNAP NAS, we realize that the monitoring servers hardware spec is very important because, as I mentioned, the CPU memory may affect how many NAS they can monitor. So here, the one portal solution is that when they have multiple NAS on the same subnet, for example, under a data center, we have our Q Center have a very unique technology design. Is that all those NAS will not simply send data back to Q Center, because we imagine that this will causing a very heavy loading for the central monitor server. So instead of sending all those data by each NAS, we allow the NAS in the same subnet to form a connection cluster. In this connection cluster, each NAS will send the information to the other NAS on the same subnet. And when Q Center need to retrieve the information, it simply select the most powerful NAS in the same subnet and retrieve the information back to the Q Center. So this means that the loading of the Q Center can be dramatically reduced because you only need to retrieve the information that already be handled, already been processed by the NAS in the same subnet.
So the Q Center server will only pull data from one of the NAS in the subnet?
Yes.
It's very unique design.
Yes. And when there has multiple NAS in the same subnet, they form another important aspect regarding connection cluster is that when there has one NAS that Q Center cannot retrieve information from it, it can simply select another QNAP NAS in the same subnet, and you can also retrieve the rest the rest NAS information back to Q Center, which also this method also allowing to ensure the monitoring process can be smoothly conducted even one of the NAS in the subnet is being have some issue.
This one is very important. I think it's like a failover mechanism, right?
Yes.
Because if I cannot communicate with the Q Center server, I can still connect with the machine just next to me.
Yes.
And if he can connect back, then he will connect back and communicate and deliver all this information.
Yes. And there's one tiny information that I want to share is that each NAS every minute will sending back to Q Center regarding 15 kilobyte to 200 kilobyte of data per minute, which is also a reference data for IT manager. Okay, but let's go back to the topic and see what is the effect of this connection cluster. So here you can see our comparison between monitoring 100 NAS in the same subnet and 100 NAS in different subnet. For example, is most of the NAS in a data center, we have to do a comparison to see the effect of the connection cluster. And from those reports, you can see that if all those 100 NAS is in the same subnet, the Q Center will only retrieve information from specific NAS, and if the Q Center server's CPU usage, network usage, and disk usage are all reduced compared to monitoring multiple NAS that do not have the connection cluster function.
So by clustering them together, we can save a lot of CPU usage, network, and the disk usage, right?
Yes.
So we can save a lot of resource for other important tasks.
Yes. And this is one of the automation that we done to reduce the resource requirement for deploying a Q Center solution. And let's go to the next important topic. We have providing two deployment methods, both NAS and the VM version of Q Center. So the first, of course, when providing to Q Center, we allow IT manager to install Q Center directly in the NAS that he has purchased. So this allows the IT manager to maximize the return of investment on the QNAP NAS, because one NAS can be a storage unit and also at the same time be a monitoring service to monitor the other all the NAS. And another deployment method we provide is VM version, because we know that from the previous slide that a monitoring software may require a flexible resource distributor, which allow the IT manager to allocate virtual CPU and virtual monitoring memory so that to satisfy different software requirements. So we also provide a VM version of Q Center, which allow user to directly easily allocate the monitoring resource back to the between the monitoring server, the Q Center, and the other application, so they can maximize the resource usage of a single server.
So you mean by installing Q Center in a virtual machine, that virtual machine can be moved around?
Yes.
So you can distribute resources if you want to move to less server, and this server you want to save for more critical work, that's fine, right?
Yes. This is really flexible because a user can also utilize a hypervisor function, for example, HA or snapshot, to protect the monitoring server as well.
It's very good.
Okay, and finally, I want to share regarding our three different connection types: LAN, WAN, and over NAT. As you can see from the chart, Q Center provide several methods that allow user to add a NAS into the monitoring system. So first of all, the other monitoring software also have this solution, is that when a Q Center, you can search a subnet or search by IP to find the NAS that you want to add it, so that you can quickly deploying Q Center monitoring solution in a subnet that have maybe 15 or 16 NAS. And so as from the chart, you can see this is the first part, that Q Center and 3 NAS in the same subnet are connected. And the second connection solution is a unique technology that Q Center team have developed, and we believe this is a very important feature, that when a NAS is under different subnet or behind a firewall, usually monitoring software cannot scan those
that's a headache.
Yes, that's really a problem for IT manager.
Indeed.
And from the chart, you can see there has one NAS is outside the router, is in another server. So here we have introduced a unique app called Connecting to QCenter. Connect to QCenter, this app, you can quickly install the app in a NAS that you want to add it into the monitoring system. And after install the app, you can key in the QCenter NAS IP and allow that NAS to connect back to the QCenter directly.
That's very good.
And finally, we also have a one solution is that when the QCenter and the NAS need to connect using the WAN IP connect through the internet. As you can see from the chart, there has the global icon which means internet. We can also allow QCenter to search myQNAPcloud ID, which is one of the cloud's ID that user can restrict their NAS. And by using this myQNAPcloud account, they can easily find the NAS that being distributed around different locations or even different country and quickly add them back to the QCenter.
So all these connection method, connection types, do they have to modify any firewall settings?
No.
No?
Yes.
Not a single one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay. So here, let's see the UI of Connect to QCenter. This app is currently already available in every NAS App Center, which you just open the App Center and search for Connect to QCenter, download it, and open it. And in the user interface, you just need to input the QCenter server's IP address, password, and the code that we specifically decide that IT manager can restrain which NAS can add it to the QCenter. With those settings, you can quickly add a NAS back to QCenter to add the NAS back to the monitoring system after delete. So by this method, you don't need to change any firewall setting because as long as the NAS can pin the QCenter, it can be added into the monitoring system.
That's very good. And you mentioned we can use myQNAPcloud to connect to a NAS over the internet, right?
Yes. And this is another slide that I want to show you about the UI of scanning NAS on the myQNAPcloud. Here is just simply three steps. Now, first of all, you just add the NAS you want to monitor it into a myQNAPcloud account. And the second step is that while using the QCenter on the QNAP NAS, you also restrict the QCenter to the myQNAPcloud account. And finally, in the QCenter user interface, you will have the option of scanning the myQNAPcloud ID. So in this user interface, you can see that I have a 4 NAS in this myQNAPcloud account, and I can scan them and add them to the QCenter monitoring directly.
That's a very good integration.
Yes.
Cool.
And because of this solution, some users may have a concern that, okay, this seems to be a solution that only applies to QCenter app version. How can we use the VM version to monitor NAS on the internet? So actually, here's another very reason why we also provide a VM version, because it's very flexible. So for the VM version of QCenter, you simply need to providing a DNS address for the QCenter VM version with your hypervisor setting. And after that, you just also using a Connect to QCenter app for the NAS to key in the dimension address of the QCenter VM. And you input the password and restriction code, and then you can also monitoring NAS using QCenter VM version to internet.
So for every versions, we got it covered, right?
Yes.
Very good.
Okay, so after mention all the solution that I want to share with all everyone who is listening regarding in recent maybe just a couple months ago, we have done a simulation regarding how is the NAS performance when the NAS has installed QCenter and it must monitor it over 1,000 QNAP NAS. So in this simulation, we use TDS 16489. This is the most powerful NAS that we have with dual CPU. And from this, you can see the QCenter has successfully passed this test in a simulation regarding monitoring over 1,000 NAS.
Oh, that's very powerful. Well, we mentioned earlier it can manage 100, but actually in the experiment it goes to 1,000. That's a lot.
Yes, and also here I want to report to everyone that in this TDS 16489U, the CPU usage for each CPU is about 20%, and the memory usage is about 8 gigabits. Here we have 64 gigabits, so actually you can monitor more NAS if required.
So managing 1,000 NAS only takes about 20% of CPU usage.
Yes.
Well, that's very impressive.
So this is one of the experiments that we done in simulating different NASs.
Have you guys tried higher number?
No,
not yet.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Because the next step, I am also very exciting is that because this is just simulation, so the NAS might not be real. It's done through some software design. And actually, in this month, we are planning to conduct an actual 500 NAS being monitored by QCenter with all the different desks and different volume type inside our QNAP lab. So it's also exciting to see if this simulation result can match with the actual deployment.
Well, sounds good.
Yes. So from those simulation, we have some best practice for the IT manager who is considering deploying QNAP QCenter to monitor multiple NAS. So here we can see there has two factors that are really important when we need to consider when deploying QCenter solution. First of all, are the monitoring NAS in the same or different subnet? Because the reason is that in QCenter we have the connection clusters design. So if all the NAS is in the same subnet, the resource usage will be significantly reduced. But if all the NAS are located in different subnet, the connection cluster cannot be used, and you may need to consider higher level of servers in monitoring different NAS. And the second factor is regarding the NAS configuration, because as we know that each NAS might transfer a lot of data back to QCenter each minute, and depending on the NAS configuration, whether it's complex or simple, the transfer data size will also be changed depending on that. For example, if a NAS has enabled connection log, as we know that different user when enable connection log, the system will record each user when have they connected to the NAS and with which method, sandbar or FP. All those data will be recorded. So when this connection log has been enabled, it will have you need to transfer more data back to QCenter. So that means the QCenter's resource requirement will also be increased. Yes.
For the factor 2, it's actually pretty obvious. A 16-bay NAS, they send back more data back to QCenter than a 2-bay NAS, right?
Yes.
So that's definitely something you want to consider. If you are using multiple larger NASs, then you may want to plan for more resources.
Yes. So here we have given a table to show when monitoring 1 to 100 NAS under the same subnet. Maybe a tower NAS, for example, X151 or 53B should be enough. But when you have a more complex setting, when managing 100 NAS or between 100 to 500 or even 1,000 NAS with complex setting, we will recommend you starting to consider the recommended NAS, for example, Intel Xeon E3 or Intel Xeon E5 with more RAM and storage space. And also, there's one thing I want to highlight is that when you are monitoring so many NAS, you might consider to have a SSD cache in your in your QNAP NAS or servers, because when you have so many NAS data that need or on the different subnet that need to not need to send back to the Q Center. It's just like a database application.
Yeah, it's still IO intensive.
Yeah, so at this time, I believe SSD cache is also required. And here, our suggest model is from x82, which is advanced Tower NAS, to the recommend NAS, for example, 80U or 89U.
All right, cool. So with all this monitoring, management, and deployment introduction,
yes.
Do you have any actual use cases or customer scenarios that you can share with us? How does our customer use Q Center solution?
Of course. Our Q Center solution has been widely used by the professional IT manager and normal user alike around the globe. So, for example, this year we have doing some survey, and the survey showing that more than this is 500,000 NAS has installed Q Center currently, and they are monitoring 1.5 million of the NAS.
That's a lot.
Yes. And in average, per business customer, each business user will monitor 10 NAS with Q Center. So this solution, we already have Q Center for maybe 3 years or even more than 3 years now. So we have a lot of professional users are actually use our solution. And here is in this year we have two cases regarding massive deployment. So first of all, this is Tesco. Maybe you are familiar with the brand, which is a supermarket chain, and its sub-chain in Thailand have utilized the QNAP solution. So right now in all those 1.2 thousand stores, about 200 of them have deployed QNAP NAS. And the local distributor and the IT manager in Tesco, Thailand, have chosen the Q Center app version with TVS 1282. With i7 CPU and 16 GB of RAM with SSD cache. So the local distributor have sharing with us that because it is the local distributor who deploy this NAS and the solution for the IT manager, and it just feedback to us that the Q Center is really good when monitoring and management 200 NAS with hardware, and we are looking forward to add more servers into more of the store in Thailand.
All right, now just 200 NAS. You still have 1,000 to go.
Yes. And next case, this case is I cannot mention his real name because it may be related to government. This is a customer in Italy, which is agricultural association related to government maybe, and it also have a total 700 branch office located in different regions, and also 200 of those branch office have currently deploying QNAP NAS. And different from the case in Thailand, in this case, the user have using a Q Center VMware version with IBM Xeon CPU E5 CPU, which is a very powerful server, and with 4 GB of virtual memory to monitor all those NASs. And the IT manager also mentioned that after using Q Center, it really make a difference in monitoring all those NAS because it really easy to use with interface, and the support that we provided allow him to monitoring 200 NAS. He's very satisfied with our solution.
So we have so many proven successful stories about customers deploying our solution.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay. So after sharing this case, here I think the time has come for us to concluding our presentation today.
Give us a quick recap about what you just shared with us.
Yes. So we believe that we are dedicated solution provided by the storage vendor QNAP Q Center can allow our user to make the best use of the NAS because we have the 3-dimension monitoring solution. Basically CPU usage, storage space usage, and most importantly, disk health and disk storage performance. We all cover all those. We cover all those monitoring dimension for the user. And another thing that is that with a single portal and dual mode, which NAS and VM deployment,
yes,
and 3 connection time over LAN over NAT, and when we allow our customer to monitor more than 1,000 QNAP NAS.
That's impressive.
Okay. So here is also our official website, and recently we have announced the best practice regarding deploying QCenter for massive scale monitoring. So I hope that those resources and today's material can help our user and future user can understand the benefit of QCenter.
Right, cool. Thank you, Ripple, for preparing interesting material and give us a thorough introduction of QCenter.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the program of the day has come to an end, but later this week we'll have another episode talking about our QTS 4.3.4 beta, which is already released for some of our ARM-based model.
Yes.
And we will go to details of the beta program and tell you about exciting new features that we are bringing to you. So thank you for watching today. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.